Let me get this microphone in. All right. Good afternoon and welcome to the BFTAA and More Show. I'm your host, Louis George Walker, and that's coming to you with some of the news that's going on in technology in Kansas City, around Kansas City, and in the world. So we're here on the Black Family Technology Awareness Association and W.E.B. Du Bois's product, KUAW Radio, which stands for Knowledge, Understanding, and Wisdom. So we're here to bring you some of the latest of what's going on. This is BFTAA, which stands for the Black Family Technology Awareness Association. We're glad to be here. We're here every Monday from 5 to 5:45, sometimes longer, sometimes a little shorter. But we're here to bring you news and information and things that are going on. We're making some changes. We're trying to grow up and do a few different things, but it's all in getting you some information is what we're trying to do. One of the things that has been going on today, I've been fighting a little bit, was getting my taxes done. Yes, tax day is tomorrow, April the 18th. I'm glad they gave us a couple extra days because I just got mine sent off today, the 17th. So April the 14th, my birthday. I didn't really want to work on them then, but we got the taxes done, got it off, and we'll be waiting to see when the returns get back to us, and we'll go from there. But I hope if you haven't got your taxes done, you've got a little more than 24 hours to get it done and get it into the government so that you don't have any penalties and things like that assessed against you. So try and make sure that you do get that done. Also, like to remind everybody, we've got another election coming up. They've been doing the primary elections, and I think we're getting ready for the full city council or whoever the winners were in the primaries to go on now so that we can get a mayor. Of course, I think our mayor is going to be back again. Since I haven't heard of too much competition against him, I think there is a person running, but pretty much for all intents and purposes, Quentin Lucas will probably be back in the mayor's seat again to serve his second and final term as mayor. Most of the mayors that we've had in the recent memory have been two-term mayors, except for Mayor Funkhauser, who was in for only one term. But before then, Kay Barnes and Sly, they all had two terms, and I think Quentin Lucas is going to do two terms also. So we will have races, though, in the city council. There's some city council people who are term limited out, so they can't run again. So that's opening up some seats, some spots that will bring in more what should I say, contestants or more people seeking that office. So be sure to stay up on your news. We have had some of the candidates here on KUAW Radio. We hope to have even more here so that we can keep giving you the information and help you to make up your mind on where you want to go with your vote this year. Also, another thing that's in the news, and that was the shooting. I think it was last Friday. Let me pull that up. There was a young man that was shot. Well, let me get that so I can get you the straight information. And there was a lot of shooting this weekend. That's for sure. This was a pretty violent week. Okay. Let's see. See if we can get that. Yeah, this is it, and it's made national news. Heard it on NPR, even heard it today. It's on CNN. It's on a lot of the news around. But there was a young man, 16 years old, who went to pick up his siblings. Parents sent him to go pick them up, and he got on the wrong street. Instead of 115th Street, he went to 115th Terrace and knocked on the door, and the homeowner I guess, opened his front door, but then shot the youth through the glass door that separated the two of them. So it's seems really strange that this happened, but it begs to really get you about that. So it was an 80-year-old man who shot the teenager. He didn't die. From what I heard on the news today, he is already home and recovering at home. So this happened, you see, April the 13th. So that was Thursday night. So Kansas City Police Chief Stacey Graves said in the Sunday news conference a homeowner was placed on 24-hour investigation hold following the shooting. After consulting with the Clay County Prosecutor's Office, the homeowner was released pending further investigation. Police also said that they have to interview the victim and collect other forensics. CNN has not been able to reach the man for comment at this time. A lawyer was not listed in the booking report. CNN has requested the booking report and mugshot for the accused shooter in addition to the incident report, but has not yet received it from the Kansas City, Missouri Police Department. So no information has been given out. They do say that the man was in a detention unit, read the man's booking information to CNN phone. They confirmed that the man who was booked on the investigation hold was a white man in his 80s, and his home address matches the address where the shooting took place. So we haven't got too much news on that. It's really, I don't know if it's strange or not. I haven't been involved in a lot of shootings, so but hopefully we'll get more information. The young man's name was Ralph Yarl, and that's being given out in the newspaper, even though they have him at 16, so he is still a juvenile, so I don't know. They give his name out, but not anybody else's. Says officers responded to a home April the 13th just before 10 p.m. after receiving reports of a shooting. When they arrived, they found Ralph, 16, who had been shot outside the residence by the homeowner. Ralph was shot twice and struck in the head and arm, his family attorney said in a statement. The neighbor CNN spoke with said they did not hear the shooting because they were asleep, but did say once awake we came outside and the victim was laying in the street surrounded by a few of our neighbors. Ralph has come home from the hospital, according to the family attorney, Mr. Ben Crump. Crump said Ralph is still struggling with stress from the ordeal, but he and his family are happy he lived after being shot in the head. They hope for a full recovery because Ralph is a young and strong. He added, he is not out of the woods yet, but the great thing is, a medical official said he was stable enough to go to his home. The Kansas City Star reported that Ralph is being cared for by his mother, who is a nurse. So Attorney Crump told CNN's Jake Trapper it makes no sense the shooter hasn't been arrested. Nobody can tell us if the roles were reversed. If you had a black man shoot a white 16-year-old teenager for merely ringing his doorbell, that he would not be arrested, Crump said. I mean, this citizen went home and slept in his bed at night after shooting that young black kid in the head. So at a weekend rally, community and family members marched to and demonstrated in front of the man's house, calling for charges to be filed. Protesters marched as they chanted "Justice for Ralph" and "Black Lives Matter" and carried signs reading, "Ringing a doorbell is not a crime, and the shooter should do the time." Footage from CNN affiliate KMBC News. So then the father said, "We want charges. That's what we want." So everybody's there. They're looking for swift action. I don't think it's going to be swift since he hasn't been charged, and this is 3-4 days after the event. So swift is not going to happen. That's already been passed. So that's some of the information that's going on. We want to pray that Mr. KUAW does have a complete recovery, that he doesn't have any permanent physical damage, although it'll be hard to tell if he would have any mental damage from this, because that is really something that he has went through, and that could have a long-lasting effect on anybody. So physically, we want to pray for him. Mentally and spiritually, we want to pray for his complete and total recovery also, so that the young man at 16 years old has a lot to live for. Also, though, we want to talk about there were some other shootings that went on in Kansas City, and one was at 35th and Prospect in Kansas City, and that was really a shocking thing because there were, I think, 4 or 5 people. I'll see if I can pull up information on that that were shot on the at a filling station. So that's something that is really 1 dead and 4 shot, 4 hurt. So yeah, that was at 35th and Prospect about 8:21 p.m. on Friday. So that was probably dusk dark. If it was dark then, it was sun was just going down about 8:21. Says 1 person is dead and 4 others were wounded following a shooting in Kansas City. It happened at a gas station at 8:21 p.m. on a Friday. Police say the person who died was an adult man, and the 4 other victims suffered non-life-threatening injuries. Police say 1 of the victims was a child under the age of 5. It is unknown at this time as to what led up to the shooting. No information about the suspect has been provided. So there were a lot of people who were put in harm's way. 1 did die, 4 others wounded. That's another shooting that happened over the weekend. And I think there was another shooting over in the Westport area. So there was a lot of shooting, a lot of violence that went on over the weekend. And it's something that we really should be looking at, not just the fact of any racial thing, but the fact that there's so much gun violence going on, you know, for people that are going to gas or going to pick up cigarettes or pop or potato chips or what, who knows, at the filling station, and then gunfire breaks out. You know, it's like we're living in the Wild Wild West, and that's not a thing that we'd want to be in as we're in the 21st century. We still have a problem with guns, and not just guns, but with violence in general. There was a man that was shot. 2 people were shot. 1 lived, 1 died, and that was at 37th and Prospect. So a couple of blocks up. So there was a lot of shooting that went on in the last 4-5 days here, and lives that were lost. The young man, the 16-year-old, is alive, though he did not die. So it's just a lot that's been happening. So we really have to think about that. All right, but now you're here with the Black Family Technology Awareness Association, and what we do is bring you some information about technology. We have an event coming up less than a month away, May 13th. We're going to be doing Remake Learning Days here in Kansas City, where you'll have a chance to get some hands-on experience with some of the technology that we work with young people on right here. If you're a hobbyist or a tinkerer or somebody that works with technology and you'd like to be involved, or you have something that you would like to show and you let young people use or families use, why don't you get in touch with the Black Family Technology Awareness Association? We can set you up a table. You can actually show the event yourself. The Remake Learning Days is about hands-on technology. So whatever, if you want to come and be a part of it with us as a host or as a provider, then bring something that people can touch, people can use and work with themselves. So hopefully you come out. It's open to the whole community. We want everybody to come out and get involved. We want families to be here. We're going to be posting up some flyers on the KUAW page and on the Black Family Technology Awareness Association page. And we're going to show you a little bit more information about that in a few minutes right here on this show. So I've talked a long time and haven't got to what we usually do, and that is telling you what's going on at NASA, the National Aeronautics and Space Administration. So we want to bring up this week at the National Aeronautics and Space Administration what's going on. So this week at NASA, here we go.
Introducing the crew of our Artemis II moon mission, lighting up an Artemis rocket engine, and a new image of a distant planet. A few of the stories to tell you about this week at NASA.
Ladies and gentlemen, your Artemis II crew.
During an April 3rd event near our Johnson Space Center in Houston, we introduced NASA's Reed Wiseman, Victor Glover, and Christina Hammock-Cook, and the Canadian Space Agency's Jeremy Hansen as the crew for Artemis II. It will be the first Artemis mission to fly astronauts around the moon and back on our Orion spacecraft to validate the system's capabilities and techniques needed for humans to live and work in deep space.
Together we will usher in a new era of exploration for a new generation of star sailors and dreamers. To the moon, to Mars, and beyond.
Learn more about Artemis II at nasa.gov/Artemis-II. Engineers at our Stennis Space Center conducted a hot fire of an RS-25 rocket engine on April 5th. It was the 5th hot fire of a 12-test series to certify production of new engines. 4 RS-25s will help power our Space Launch System rocket on future Artemis missions to the moon. Our James Webb Space Telescope captured this new image of Uranus that highlights the planet's dramatic rings and bright atmospheric features. The data demonstrate Webb's sensitivity for the distant planet's faintest dusty rings, which have only been imaged by 2 other facilities besides Webb. Our Perseverance rover recently collected and stored the first sample of the mission's newest science campaign. The sample came from a rock the science team calls Berea that is located near the top of Jezero Crater's delta on Mars. That's what's up this week at NASA. For more on these and other stories, follow us on the web at nasa.gov/twan.
All right. So that's what's going on at NASA right now. A lot going on. Also in the news this morning, the space Starship that Elon Musk has created, a 400-foot tall, huge rocket that was supposed to launch this morning. It's going to be a vehicle that he's designed, or his company SpaceX has designed, that will not only travel to the moon, but he expects in the future that it will carry astronauts to Mars. So he has made a huge rocket, bigger than any that have been made, down in Texas, and they were going to launch it this morning at 8 o'clock, but they had a frozen valve. The launch was canceled for the day, and I don't know that they've rescheduled it yet. They probably have to check and see why the valve froze, if that's something that they can fix right away. But stay tuned for SpaceX's launch of a large, I think they call it Starship. So they're working, companies are working, the government's working to really start doing deep space exploration. And that is a great thing. It's really exciting time that we're going to be seeing over the next few months, years to come about deep space. Well, the moon isn't really deep space, but I think as you get past the moon, as you go into Mars and beyond, you're really talking about more of deep space. When you really talk about it, you would have to get out of this solar system. But for right now, we have to be happy with baby steps, which if we can get back to the moon, which we haven't been to in over 50 years, or right around 50 years, back when I was in high school, was when they had first landed on the moon. So we could use a little bit more, energy towards space exploration, because in those 50 years, we do have a space station built, but you would think we'd be in progress a little bit further than we have. So hopefully we're going to be seeing a lot more space exploration developments and things that will be going on with space travel in the near future. So hopefully that's not that far off, and we'll all be able to see and take advantage of some of that that's happening. Yeah, now we've got some more coming up from space right now from NASA, and that's called Space to Ground. We show you this every week, so we're going to go into that right now with Space to Ground from the National Aeronautics and Space Administration.
Welcome to Space to Ground. I'm Dan Hewitt. It was a sprint to the finish this week as the Expedition 69 crew prepares to unleash a Dragon. Before that can happen, the crew will pack just shy of 4,200 pounds of cargo and science inside the capsule to return to Earth. Dragon continues to be the main pipeline for us to return large amounts of stuff from station to Earth, from completed science experiments ready for analysis to hardware like big nitrogen and oxygen tanks that will refill and fly again. And it isn't just like throwing your luggage into your car. Each of the crew will spend hours this week carefully laying out and accounting for every item returning. They also take photos of the packed configuration for analysis done by teams on the ground, calculating the weight distribution and center of gravity of Dragon, a critical piece of making sure everything gets home safe. And critical for return, though, is the science, with experiments running the full gamut making the trip home. Studies looking at everything from crystal and plant growth to fire safety and muscle and heart health will be taking the plunge through Earth's atmosphere packed away inside Dragon. We'll have dwarf tomatoes grown in our very own space garden, helping us learn how to grow nutritious food for deep space explorers of the future. Crystals testing a new way to develop more efficient solar cells and semiconductors. Stuff the astronauts literally lit on fire in a very safe and controlled facility to better understand how different materials react in the spaceflight environment. And blood samples used in one study to analyze muscle changes in astronauts, which can help us better protect future crews and help those struggling with muscle loss on Earth. And another study looking at how we can treat arteries in your heart when they stiffen, something that can happen to astronauts living in space for months at a time, or to everyone here on Earth just as they grow older. And because it's still the best part of my job, let's knock out a few rapid-fire Ask NASA questions. Charles asked, when astronauts swallow food in space, how does it get into the stomach? Does it not stop in the throat or somewhere? Answer, your body doesn't use gravity to move food and water, it uses muscles, so everything works in microgravity. Try drinking water standing on your head. It still works. Fredrickson asked, how do they get the cargo out of the trunk of Dragon?
All right. So that one ended a little bit early, but there's a lot of things going on in that Space to Ground as you think about Dragon and all they can carry, 4,200 pounds. So it's going to return that stuff back to Earth, which is great. So those are some of the things that are going on this week at NASA. And as we keep moving forward, we're going to show you something that we have going on because I was talking about this a little bit earlier, and it's called Remake Learning Days. So Remake Learning Days is going to be happening right here in Kansas City, but it's also going to be happening around the world. Here's some of what it's about.
So excited that Remake Learning Days is an opportunity to showcase all the partners that students could have a possibility of working with, and just a great celebration for families.
I really loved that Remake Learning Days is bringing hands-on STEM activities to the community, and really wanted to help out where we could and help bring more STEM education. Our experience with Remake Learning Days has been great, just having resources, being able to network and brainstorm with other organizations to figure out what are the things that are unique to us that we have to offer the community.
It was a tremendous opportunity to be unified effort with many other organizations around the city and around the nation. It is important for us to be sure that people understand that we play a tremendous role, making something bigger than ourselves, and more than anything, to provide a better future for the generations today.
If you're an organization that maybe isn't focused or fixated on the youth, you need to be fixated on the youth. You know, the youth is the future. I am the youth, you know, and nonprofit organizations have helped me to become me now.
You never know what an event like this in the community can really do to bring somebody from a point of maybe not necessarily recognizing all of the things that they're capable of to being able to find that economic pathway, find that career that's really interesting to them, and being able to figure out how to pursue that further.
We hire a lot of scientists and a lot of curious people that are making groundbreaking discoveries, and so we want to plant that seed early, that and get kids and families excited about science.
It's so powerful for other organizations to get involved with it because Remake have already got the structure in place. You just have to show up and do your projects and interact with the community, as opposed to trying to do it all yourself as an organization. So I highly encourage any organization to do this and make the commitment to Kansas City and to these kids.
I would encourage any organization, if you have anything that's a maker's activity, an art activity that you know might spark an interest in a student. You live here too, you're going to need a future workforce. So get involved in Remake Learning Days, spark some interest in those young people, get your name out there.
All right, all right. So that's Remake Learning Days. Let's see. Okay, yeah, that's Remake Learning Days. And I'll get myself back up here, I think. There I am. All right, all right. Yeah, Remake Learning Days. We're a part of that, the Black Family Technology Awareness Association. And we're going to be doing Remake Learning Days right on the Cypress side of the W.E.B. Du Bois Learning Center at 4510 East Linwood Boulevard, Saturday, May the 13th. That's Saturday, May the 13th. There's going to be flyers out. We're going to be giving you some more information. We're going to have robots and drones are the main feature of the day. So we've got our young people who will be demonstrating. There'll also be some drones that they can take on a test flight that'll be going on out there. So we're going to be doing robots and drones right here at 4510 East Linwood, and that's going to be going on Remake Learning Days, Saturday, May the 13th from 12 until 3. So we want you to tell your family, bring your kids out. We're going to have some hot dogs and potato chips and cookies for the family. We're going to be having some fun. We'll also tell you how you can enroll for some of the programs that we will be starting up and having this summer. We've got a coding program that's going to start right after Remake Learning Days. We're also looking at when we'll do our next Lehawk Drone Academy and how we will do that through the end of the school year or in the summer. And we're going to be looking at our robotics program, which will fire back up at the end of August. So there's a lot of programs that you'll be able to sign up for to get involved with. And also we'll be looking for volunteers, people that would like to help us out. So be sure and stop by Black Family Technology Awareness Week's Remake Learning Days event. So there will be events going on all over the city between May the 6th and the 13th. And we're going to have ours on the 13th, so we'll help close out Remake Learning Days. One of the other things that we're going to be having is a workshop on how to cut the cord. Yes, how you can cut the cord from paying high cable bills. That some of you may be paying $250, $260 a month for cable, and you could go to streaming and save a lot of that money. You pay for your internet access, and then you can a la carte get what you want to stream on there. So you might want to look into that. That's going to be a workshop that'll be happening at the same time that we'll be doing the Remake Learning Days Drones and Robots program that will be happening. So we want you to come out, get involved, see what's going on, let your kids get involved, and find out some of the things that can help spur that excitement in your young people. So we want families from all over the city, and especially those that are around here at 31st and Cypress, to be sure and come out, because we're going to be right here on the side of the school building, the W.E.B. Du Bois Learning Center, and we'll be having a lot of fun that day. So mark that down, May the 13th. if you'd like to help out, if you'd like to volunteer for that event, or if you have some gizmos and gadgets that you would like to demonstrate or show to young people, get in touch with the Black Family Technology Awareness Association. You can hit us up on Facebook, or you can email us at BFTAA@sbcglobal.net. You can also call us here at the radio station, which is 816-599-6893. You can also call us at 816-781-4050. Leave a message, say you want to get involved in the Remake Learning Days event. It's going to be a one-day event. We're looking for volunteers to help out. So get in touch with us. We'd like to have you come down and learn a little bit more about this organization and how you can help us out at different events. So that is going to be May the 13th right here in Kansas City, Missouri. So we hope that you would come down. Up, I got to close the curtain. Pay no attention to that man behind the curtain there. There you go. Yeah, that's Oz here, you know. But we're doing a few good things, and we'd like for you to become a part of helping us out with what we do here, and we would appreciate it. So thank you in advance. Now I'll show you a little bit of our drone program. I've got some new video that I'm going to be bringing up here. Probably later this week I'll be posting it out because our kids have really been working. But let's let you see a little bit of what they're doing with the drones. This is, let's see, we got it silent here. There we go.
You hit the stop button. So when you hit the stop button, it keeps it from going. So just do the take off and land. Okay, so this time, slide to the right. All right, and land it. Good job. Now, if you change your mind, you're like, oh, I really didn't want to land it, you let it come on back. You know where it said stop? You can hit that stop button and it'll hover and it won't fall all the way down. Okay, who's next? So you see how it kind of floated over? That's why we're not taking turns yet, because we don't know how it's going to float yet. We want to make sure you have good control over your controls. All right, you ready? Ready for takeoff?
I don't.
Just press the button. That's all you got to do. You can do it.
So these were the kids about 4 weeks ago that they were able to do this flight. But they've been steadily improving, and I'm going to show you later some of that. They were just practicing takeoff and landing.
Up and down. What word are we using?
Drone up, they took it right back down. It's a new program that we have for them. All 5 of these kids have been hanging with us. They've been coming in on Saturdays. And now, when you see the next video, and I'm going to show it to you today, I have it edited down a little bit. When I show you the next video, you'll really be amazed at how these kids have improved in their control and flight. So in just a few weeks, they went from not ever having flown a drone, and now they're doing it so much better. I mean, they fly. I can't fly one of them things. I've been sitting in class thinking I need to learn how to do this better myself.
But we're just going to take off. So So
these
take
are
off.
people that have never flown a drone. So a couple of them had a drone. Well, one of them already had a drone. And then another one of the young ladies' parents went and bought her a drone now that she's in the drone club, so she can practice at home. So this is what's going to be going on at Remake Learning Days. You'll be able to see
If it goes high,
the kids doing
you have to be ready
this.
to turn it. You have to be ready to go back and forth, and we're not quite ready for that. But next week we're going to work on that. So I need everybody to be confident because we're going to go side to side and we're going to do some circles. Y'all ready for that? All right, come on, Lee. I'm going to hold it. I just want you to press the button.
All right, so that's the thing. We have kids, and some of them are real gung-ho and ready to fly to the moon, and some are a little more tentative, like, I don't know if I can do it. So, but they're all coming along so great. And I mean, to be able to see these kids learn this flying and learn the lessons, they actually had to be tested to get to the level of even flying it. So our instructor has been taking them through where they have to know about the wind speeds and what you can fly in and different control languages and things like that. And then they're able to get to the flight, and then they're learning step by step as they get through this. So this is really a good thing for kids to learn. One thing, rules and how to follow the instructions, all that would go towards getting a license as a drone pilot. So these are things that they really can learn that can help them with a career in the future. So they're starting early, and who knows where these young people will go with that. But yes, the Lee Hawk Drone Academy at the Black Family Technology Awareness Association is open. They're wrapping up, but they will be demonstrating their drones at the Remake Learning Days event that will be happening May the 13th. So if you want to see how our kids can fly their drones, how they have control over their drones and those type of things, be sure and come out and check them out Saturday, May the 13th, right here, 4510 East Linwood Boulevard, Remake Learning Days. Yes, yes, yes. We want you to be out. We want you to get involved with our young people and see and support the young people and what they're doing. You know, because we need to give them encouragement and be there to say, hey, this is great. We're glad to see what you're doing and how you're controlling this craft and all of that. Let's support our children. Let's build them up so that they feel like they can do anything, and we know that they can. So I want to thank you for joining me today. This is the BFTAA and More Show. I'm your host, Louis George Walker. We want to bring you more of the information that's going on, or the information in technology. As you saw last week, I was doing a chat GPT. I really did a little bit of practice on that to see how it can write stuff and form letters for you and things like that. And we need to know about AI that's coming around. So you need to look into it, get some of the AI programs. A lot of them are in their beta testing thing, so they let you test them for free just to see how they can improve it. So this is the time to get your feet wet and learn about artificial intelligence for yourself. Don't just go by what people are telling you. Artificial intelligence is good, it's bad, they're doing this, they're doing that. Find out for yourself what's going on with AI. Because AI is definitely here. It's not going anywhere. So you need to know about it, and you need to learn about it for yourself. So that's all I've got for today. I want to thank you for coming in, for tuning in week after week. We're on every Monday from 5 to 5:45, the BFTAA and More Show. I want to change it up a little bit and maybe do a few different things in the coming weeks. So just keep tuning in. Also remember, you can call in if you'd like to be a part of the show, 816-599-6893. Our call-in line is open. We would love to hear from you. You can also leave us a message on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter, and tell us what you think about the show, how you like it, how it's going, and everything like that. So we would love to hear from you. Get in touch with us. That's all I can say. Get in touch with us. Let us know how we're doing, what we might do to improve, what you would like to see or hear about. Check out our shows. The next show coming up is B. Michael with Shifting Paradigms. He'll be on at 6 p.m. So stay tuned. Get ready for B. Michael with Shifting Paradigms. And then at 7 It's going to be smart money news and business reviews. So we want you to check out Smart Money. We want you to check out Shifting Paradigms right here. KUAW Radio, giving you news and information for the city, for your family, and to move you forward. See you next week.